Oh, really?
And I'll be
Really?
I did. I picked up the
last year,
form. I picked up the extension cords.
but I think it was shut off before you.
Oh,
Oh, I think you should leave it lit all skating season.
it does mean though we have to run the cord under the snow. I don't know
So
if that matters.
Those little things. That'd be so cute.
I think it would be so cute.
The kids walk like from
People walking on
the shack to the rink with.
I think we should leave it lit.
Okay. So this is the Bunganut Pond Committee, just a roll call left to right.
Kevin Bear.
Michelle Palisetti.
Colleen Wildred.
Liz Mitchell.
All right, last we met, Kevin, well, I had the emergency leave, if I remember correctly. You didn't do anything. Kevin, I know you had some stuff you wanted to kind of go over, that you had some stuff that you had done. Do you want to lead off there? Or were you not prepared for that very well? Because I have stuff to do if you want to give a second.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wound up talking to a guy up at Pondicherry Park up in Bridgeton, Maine. I don't know if you guys, I sent a link out to the park and the stuff they have going on there. They have some really cool trails and covered bridges, and they attract lots of people. They're on the water. He was a really nice guy. He even offered to potentially come down to one of our meetings. And one of his biggest things, and I think is something that we all kind of have been tunking our heads up against, we started there long ago, and maybe we've lost focus or forgot what we went over from the beginning, is he said, have a think tank session, and that it's your master plan is going to be there, but he said they tried having someone do a master plan. It was $30,000 for a master plan, and that was for a place that's about the size of, well, not even, I think it's half the size of ours. So we'd be looking at probably $60,000 for a master plan for someone to do it. They were able to get some really good stuff with, you talked about land trust, the good and bad of it. He talked about what they have going on over there. And so, let's see, I have too many notes here. So anyways, he basically said, first thing, and I think we've kind of done it, and I kind of wanted to hit it again tonight, is just talk about infrastructure and an inventory of what we have over there. Because that's something we don't have, is what do we have over there? So we had done a map long ago, and these are the things I printed out that Kevin had done when we started, and Kevin had done, potential parking in these areas that we see on here. And, if the existing parking is, some of these things that we do have, and then the map of like, what are our thoughts of potentially what are we gonna do here? And that's where the next map came in. And then the one after that was the one with the brainstorming, and I had just listed a bunch of stuff and put some dots on the map. So I kind of just wanted to hit there for first and see if we feel like anything has changed in our vision. And again, put them on a sheet, just everything and anything we can think of. Because it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But I think one of the biggest things that I find going over there, I don't know if anyone else does, the way things are laid out, even field side, nothing was laid out or thought for down the future for expansion. Things are placed near a drop off. There's, the way they build it up instead of maybe level things down so you have room for expansion somewhere. Or things sink and then you have a wet spot. So, I really want to be cognizant of thinking about as the park goes along through the years, expansion, and being able to, create more trails or create different things that need to go over there as people's wants and needs of the town change. Parks and Rec winds up having to be, maybe have a building over there, what you would foresee would walk over there for Parks and Rec. So I sat down and just typed everything I could think of that I know from looking at other parks around in the area, things we've talked about. I just wanted it all on just one sheet. And actually I did this tonight. So I'm going to run through them. If I missed anything, or you think of anything, or you're like, what is that? Give me a holler. So basically for field side, I had soccer, baseball, softball, basketball, pickleball, tennis, frisbee golf, volleyball, tetherball, stadium seating, night lights over there, not like making up funny lights, but you know what I mean. Snack shack, parking, restrooms / changing rooms, trails. Then for kind of the water side, I had dry sandy beach area, a welcoming kiosk, trails, playground area, horseshoes, private sites to rent for the day if someone wanted to, like it just says spot. Automated pay gate, parks and rec building, restrooms, better parking, sledding hill, new pathway down the hill, benches, gazebo or pavilions, high-low obstacle course, which is that thing I was telling you about that they do at the Pondicherry Park, which is probably cool. It's a huge draw. Boat launch, paddle boat and kayak rental, splash pad, picnic table, signs, a donor's monument or display of some kind. So these are just little things that I threw out there to have on one page. It doesn't mean these are happening. These are just things that are at parks and are potentials to happen at a park. Does anyone have any thoughts or anything to add? That I missed that we've talked about, or that you would think a park would have?
I know you said we don't need to do all these things or whatever, but I would just say we don't need to do too many things. Like,
No, this is just he literally said, just literally think of everything that goes to a park. I'm speaking to a guy that has he's done lots of parks everywhere. He
mhm,
has a lot of knowledge. He was really so great to talk to
mhm.
and inspiring. And his recommendation for anyone that he goes to is just sit and literally snowball everything out there. It doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but get it on paper. And once you get all these things that potentially could happen in your area, then you move on to what do you actually have for inventory? And that's what we're just gonna do next with you guys. So this isn't saying we're doing these things, this is just everything that potentially could go in this park so that we don't know what happens in 5 years. You don't know what grant or funding comes up, or someone says, I wanna do this for the park and we'll donate the money to build it. So that's why, again, I just thought it'd be nice to get down following his advice, where he's done some very nice parks, and Pondicherry is the only one he's done.
I'm sorry, what does this guy do? I thought he was like a Pondicherry.
He did,
like,
he retired.
Okay.
He retired, but he's done more parks.
Is he like a designer, you mean, or was he like a?
He's worked with the Lakes Association, that's how they did theirs up there. So, and then he talked to me, his name is Peter. So he took to me, talked to me about the good, the bad, and the ugly of, having a lake association, do that stuff with you would be kind of, because then you're tied to how they want things done. And so, but like I said, it was just, he's done more parks than Pondicherry is one of his projects he's done. Because I had called Bridgeton and they referred me to him. The town of Bridgeton.
Gotcha.
So that's how I got his information. So, because I also talked to the town of New Gloucester and I talked to the town of Gray, because we had talked about the basketball courts and what Gray, the project they had going on and the bids they got. I have names of where they got it from. I have the good and bad, the ugly of what happened with their planning process. So for instance, I found out that their basketball, mainly they're doing a different thing. They're doing pickleball on theirs. So their quote for a basketball and pickleball, and I'm not sure what the design is, there's lights on one, it was $170,000. So that was, then I talked about bathrooms with New Gloucester, and with Gray already had something there, so that didn't really help me as far as what it was the planning. But they talked to me about, you can have drawings done for a bathroom for $2,500. What they don't tell you when they do it for you, I guess, is that doesn't include the plumbing part of the electrical. So then when they went back to get that done by the architect, they wanted another $30,000 to do up the plumbing and electrical specs. So these are just interesting tidbits I've been gathering as I talk to the Parks and Recs departments at other towns. So again, I liked the way Peter talked about how they did theirs, and every time he works with the town or tries to help them with a park they're planning on, to sit down and literally just write everything down and do the inventory, and that's something we've never done. So I just thought we'd do that and just kind of.
I think another good thing to do too as a group would be to actually go walk this portion of it and walk this portion of it, so we can all see what it looks like physically, because it's it's interesting. And I think that will help, I think that will help narrow focus on.
Right, and I think my concern when I looked at some of this too, some of the maps we have, is a lot of this is York County soil conservation land, right, that we're looking at?
Yeah,
And that's a problem, because
Well,
in the sense
only
that,
here.
we can't put town money towards someone else's land in that sense. You know what I mean? I don't think the town's gonna go for putting money into,
are the borders on there?
there were on a map I had, I gotta find it though.
It's right here. This is town property right here.
Right,
And then this
so
is.
you were
York
talking
County
over
soil.
here as it was at the point in time.
No, this is all town property, right here. That's all town property
Right,
here. And then this tiny sliver is York County soil conservation. We don't, and actually Missy wants to throw the subject.
Yeah, I have a
of
map
doing a
somewhere.
swap.
so where's Sid Emery?
In here.
Right,
That's Sid Emery.
right. So I have a map where she shows the slivers. I have that somewhere, similar to the one that she wants to swap.
This tiny little piece here.
There's two pieces.
And then this is a town piece of property
Yep.
and she would, it would be advantageous for her to swap them. But,
Yeah, let's look at it
That's
for her to
not-
talk to Lindsay about, that's nothing. to do.
but I mean, this is all town property and
Yeah.
this is all town property. And these
Right.
trails, this is just, these aren't accurate here,
Right.
but they're established in the
Right.
TRC over here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be great to go over there and walk,
If
and
you-
see the whole thing.
Yeah, you walk this is a straight uphill from here to here, you walk straight uphill, it's completely sloped.
Yeah.
All wet.
Does it go all the way
area.
back here? or
Yeah.
no? Because what I would like to do is for instance, and those trails are already done and in good shape, or they're the ones that
They
need
need
to come?
love.
Okay, so this is good to know. So I think it's taking inventory of what we do have. So that's gonna be part of the inventory. We have trails, and then we're gonna talk about what trails need massive love and what trails just need a little sprucing up and what doesn't exist or does exist. That's the kind of inventory I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like we have a well. I didn't know we have a septic over there, which was bizarre, but I'd have to track it down. So these are things I've learned as well. There was a house up top by the shack there now,
Over here?
by where you come in.
The log cabin.
Yeah, the log cabin.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah,
not down low though, up high.
right, it was up
Yeah,
high.
so there's a septic there.
Yep.
Somewhere. I
And
don't
they
know. if it's
pumped their
usable.
water from that well out behind the ball field.
So, and then now we have the well there, and now they have the way they're doing the water for the ball field over there. So, like I said, I'm just starting off. Is there anything else you could think of that you would want on? I mean, I know we've talked about, we have the chapel there, so but that's part of inventory. That's not really like something I'm willing to do. Is there anything else you could think of, like at a park or a field that you can think of that would be there? Nothing?
Probably wouldn't do it, but a lot of them have skate
So, like, what kind of
Mm.
skate parks?
Like Rotary Park.
Yeah, like Kennebuck has a skate park for
Ice
skateboarders or
skating? Oh,
bicycles.
skateboarders. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I wasn't following. I didn't know what kind of skating we're talking.
Yep, sorry. Not ice rink.
Yeah, because we have water over there, hopefully for skating. So it's called the Rotary Park, I guess.
No, there's one for Kennebuck and
Skateboarding.
Kennebuck
All right.
skateboarding.
And listen, these are just things we're throwing out there. This is not,
Alfred has one too.
yeah.
Mhm.
So for inventory, what do we have over there?
What do you mean?
We have like the.
Oh,
mansion.
like,
We have a well. We have a septic somewhere. We have a soccer field. What's the other field? Softball? Is it-
Softball.
Do we have benches over there? Do we have stadium?
We do now, not stadium, no,
No, just
just
there's a
benches.
set of old bleachers thrown in the corner over there. I don't know what's going on with them.
Old bleachers?
They're-
We don't
The
know what
frame
kind of
looks
condition they're in
good.
or anything like that?
The frame looks solid. It's a steel frame, but the benches probably need to be replaced. The
Okay,
wooden-
old bleachers sitting there. We have a snack shack?
Mhm.
Wait, there are
some
There's aluminum
they
bleachers.
use, right?
There is,
There's
yeah.
There's aluminum, well, there's old bleachers
Yeah.
and there's aluminum.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
just, yeah.
I think the old.
You cut 'em all out,
Just
yeah.
got thrown in the woods because they were no good.
Right.
They just,
But that frame is solid.
I think there was a reason.
So
Okay.
how many people can fit their parking in the parking lot presently? These are all things I just want to inventory over there field side.
On the snack shack side,
Uh-huh.
quite a few. 30? I'd say maybe 30.
Do you think 30 cars can fit there?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll do the mansion, mansion stuff there. So I'm gonna, right now we're doing, field side for inventory. Do we have trails over there now?
Just a tiny portion of it crosses from Sid Emery into the town, over the
Kind
line.
of trails that you love?
No. There are two loops in Sid Emery.
Okay,
The Sid's loop is 95% in York County
uh-huh,
soil land,
uh-huh,
and a tiny portion of that loop falls on town property.
okay. So Lupus at Emery.
Other than that, there are 0 trails out on the ball field side, behind the ball field.
So the one you were talking about over there, where's
Over where?
over here? That would be
Sid's loop goes something like
Okay.
this, and it goes whoop, just like that,
just like
just a
that?
piece of it.
So the one that you were talking about that comes up straight up over here? That's
It's
the
not a
one-
trail, it's just bushwhack, it's just,
It's
there's
just
no
some
trail.
logging or something like that? Or
It's been
potential?
logged, but you can't, I mean,
Well, you can, but just not easy.
there's no trails,
There's no trails over
No.
there? Okay.
and I don't think there ever were.
So we have small loop on subsidiary on field side. Is there anything else on, we do have, what's
There's a
the,
little pond.
okay, I was just say the pond and there's their pump house, right?
Yeah.
Pump house. And that pond is the one that
It's an
they use for irrigation. And there's electricity there, if you know that, because
There
of pump
is.
house.
Apparently a well
On that side too?
in that cinder block building out behind the irrigation pond.
Oh, really? Does it work?
It hasn't been opened in years. It does not work, no.
And no one knows why?
No, this is the one that they use to pump water to the log cabin
Mhm.
across the street. Jeff McDonald did the plumbing for it, and the Gervais did the electrical for it, and ran it under the road, under Brock Road, for the cabin to get their water from.
Well, we don't know if it's usable and it's just defunct.
Billy Single said he was gonna look and see if it was the same key that he had for his pump house. I can ask
So I'll
him.
just say defunct on that one for now. Okay, anything else on the field side that we're missing?
There is something else. There's that parking lot next to the irrigation pond. There's that cleared lot. And there's another building there, and I don't know what is in there.
Is it cinder?
No. It's wooden.
Is that his? Is that Billy's?
No,
It's old.
yeah,
Okay. Locked?
no. No, and I just can't remember looking at it. It just looks like maybe it's an old well or something. I don't know. It's the one with graffiti on it.
Oh, with the
Okay.
special
Yeah.
features? Okay. Okay.
That's over there. I don't know. And then, I mean, not that it's a amenity or anything, but then there's the old foundation here.
Yeah, no, these are awesome things to know.
Nope, I put that on the outside of the road.
So that's on field side too?
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else on field side?
The parking lot, that lower tiny little lot. I don't know how you describe it.
The one
The
next
one
to
with the
the
pond?
the pond or the field?
The field, it's over
Yeah,
here.
the teeny one up here, yeah.
This teeny one.
And how many cars were we thinking would fit in that?
4.
But that's not usable at the moment because it has that drop off going on, right? Is that the one or no?
The
It's
one we
usable.
par- the one
Okay.
we parked in?
Mhm.
Is that one?
Okay. Anything else on that fund? Nothing. Okay. All right, so for water side, we have the mansion over there. We have a well, we have a septic tank somewhere. There is the reading shed.
Oh, that other foundation.
Yeah. The shack where you come into, I don't know what to call that. Booth, there we go. Other, oh, sorry about that. Cement slab. Um, We have playground equipment, so we have jungle gym. We have the playhouse. Slide, is that what it is? And we have the swings. Defunct horseshoes. Volleyball. Chapel. How many bridges over there, two? One, two,
Bridges, 1. Well,
two.
2 total.
One on
Two.
each side.
Well, no, because you have the one that's fallen apart, you have the
Oh,
one
wait.
that comes to the woods, that's two.
I don't know if that's
The one
a
that goes over is three.
boardwalk.
Three,
There's 2 in the pines.
so there's two in Pines, one on the waterfront, and then there's how many boardwalks in two
I'm
boardwalks?
confused. Wait, there's one bridge in the Pines and a boardwalk, right? That goes to volleyball?
Then there's a second bridge that leads from the pines to the main beach,
Mhm.
along that little walkway.
So
Oh, the one,
when you
oh,
have,
the irrigation pond pipe.
you have the pond, you have the bridge, when you come down the hill, you have the bridge over here in the woods, the one that has rope on it.
In the woods, that's a, yeah, I would call that, is that a bridge or a boardwalk?
They had flags on it, that's why I call it a bridge. But we can call it a boardwalk. So
Yeah.
there's a boardwalk and a bridge on the Pine side, then we'll say that. Pines has a bridge. And what's the area where Dave likes to say they sacrifice children, what's that called?
I think it's either.
I can't spell that. I'll spell later, sorry. And then we have is it a bridge from the beach to the Pines? And how many boardwalks on that side? We have the one from volleyball, and then is it the one further down? Or, no, there's not one further down, it's just the one from the volleyball to Pines, right? Alright.
There's a really old bridge in the woods
Oh, there is?
behind, out way back between the mansion and the Boy Scout camp.
There's also the dilapidated log cabin.
I never walked that. Is it left? Is it like-
Mm-hmm.
Where's
In the
that?
woods,
There's
towards the
a
Boy
ton.
Scouts. The big one.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about, the big log cabin one? It's
the
all like
Lincoln
that.
log thing?
Yeah.
They're gonna take care of that.
Yeah.
That's kind of go.
Is it that not favorable?
It was an old Eagle Scout project and it's just leaning, I guess, and it's unsafe, so they're gonna take it down.
Is there more than one out there?
There are, in my PowerPoint on what I put on, whatever, shared drive,
Mhm.
I labeled on the map each location over on this side where there are old bunkhouses, porta potties, campsites, and so forth that are just falling down or down. There's bed frames still out there, toilets, you name it,
From what though?
Boy Scout camps.
Are they cleaning that stuff up or is that the town? I don't know their arrangement with the town, so I don't know how that all works. Huh, so just lots of junk on that side.
A lot.
That's sad. And weren't there some holes that we had to worry about people falling in?
Wooden tanks, I think.
And of course, we have the, I don't know what they call them, they're just kind of aimless shacks here and there. There's the one over in the Pines, and then there's the one on the way down the path to the, so
Like
there's
a trash kind of receptacle or whatever. I don't know.
Or
Or they
like
keep
old-
their,
outhouses or something. I don't know what that- The one that, remember had the, we were wondering if there was like a holding tank under it. Wondering when you're coming down the walk and it's the left,
which walk?
when you're coming down from the parking lot, the new path we want to have come down. And then there's that jut off to the left and there's that, like there's the double shack there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the other shack is in the Pines by the bigger, by the end. I think that's the double too. And then there's one by the volleyball court. I don't know if that's definitely double or not. Okay. Anything else we have for quote unquote inventory down? Oh, we have.
Shed up by the parking lot.
And we have steps into the water. I'll do the aluminum. Oh, and I heard, I guess, the potential for the grant being awarded is coming up soon.
Tomorrow.
Morning. Yeah, so we'll know if we got it or not, which will be lovely.
And I saw Karen's note that it's actually for $13,000.
Yeah, yep, which is fantastic. All right, so I think that's it for inventory, right? Okay. Mhm.
Which are hanging out.
Sad. I know. Well, like, the net is still up, the boards are still on the trees. Life continues on status quo.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can't even.
That. Whose picnic tables are those? Who do they belong to? The
Town.
Y?
They're the town,
Live town.
they're the town. They're
Should we
supposed
just
to
go?
put them on the side so that they do not.
They're like in random piles. I just was down there yesterday.
We were just down there this weekend too. They're just like leaning against each other willy-nilly. Usually they're chained too. But they're
Yes,
just kind of,
because then they end up in the water.
so right now they're just kind of leaning here and there.
They have chains, I don't know where they are, but I bought chains for them so they
Yeah,
could.
I've seen them chained. I don't know what happened. So I don't know when they're, I don't know where they stand with their process with them. I can ask. So like I said, I just wanted to get this on here just to have it there because I think it's hard to remember all these things. I think it's really cool, Holly, all the stuff you found in the woods. I think what would be nice to do, and maybe we can do it both before it gets too cold or snowshoeing, hope I don't. I can snowshoe. It'd be kind of nice to take pictures of these things in the wood and kind of pinpoint them so the town knows.
Yeah, I have it on the
Yeah, did you
share.
It's
do
all in
that
there.
already?
Dude, so is there like a pin on a map for these things now?
Yeah.
It is pinned? Okay, awesome. Because I would like to present that to the town and let them know, because that should be stuff that's cleaned up and just not left out in the woods.
Yeah.
Or have someone get hurt on it out there. All right. So that's all I want to do is just get it started, because we had started out, like when we first all got together with the looking at the map and then kind of daydreaming what we're gonna do with the park, and we're moving along. My last understanding where we are now is because of timing, there's only gonna be and it's not done yet, it's my understanding, I think, I didn't see it this weekend. The forester's only gonna be marking 100 feet back, and it's only gonna be on the pine side, and there will be cleanup of the dead stuff, and some of the invasive, like honeysuckle and stuff that you can still see, but it's what it is. They're gonna get that out of there, and that's my understanding what is happening now down there. And I don't know the city market. I don't know who I can reach out and ask. I think there was a delay there too. So what was that thing I had done?
What's the significance of 100 and the 250?
Well,
Like what, like,
I guess it's the way they do it for like measuring when you're near water. They do it so many feet from, and it's just time wise, he doesn't have time to do the other up to 250. I think that's just the way they do forestry. I don't know for sure. I'm just guessing off that. Kevin, you know?
I think the 100-foot might be the canopy issues that they want to try to avoid opening up so much space within that 100 feet of water.
Do you know why they would do 250? What the demarcation of that one?
The 250 is the shoreline zone itself,
Okay.
so that has other specific requirements, not as
Stringent
restrictive
as the first
as the
100.
first 100.
Yeah, so I'm imagining the first 100 is going to take them some work to get through. Yeah. All right. So, did you want to go over your maps and stuff like that? Did you want to? I know you had some stuff you wanted to do last time, and I thought that we didn't get to it.
I just actually had some like observations and stuff.
Awesome.
This one, my several trips out there. The one back in October, I thought it was really cool just walking around when I was taking measurements for the bridge and stuff like that. It was a beautiful late afternoon. It was like October 14th. The foliage was really, really nice. And I was thinking possibly in the future, once like the shore trail is cleaned up and safe and passable, that Parks and Rec could maybe have like evening strolls just to view the around the lake. Yeah, it was, and have like sign and donuts at the chapel or something like that. Just as to open up the park to more than just summertime. The fall time over there was actually really nice. I was just disappointed to see all the parking lots are still gated and locked up.
I don't
too
understand
restrictive.
It's a battle.
No.
Yeah, I just, yeah.
So kind of like a leaf peeping event down there.
I think it has some potential because it's beautiful.
I was down there the day after you, or even the day before or something, because I think we hit it at the same time.
We were down there on
It was
Sunday,
peak,
and all the
it was
geese were out there.
unbelievable. Oh. Yeah, we went yesterday, and I couldn't believe how low the water was.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, Kevin, we had geese trucks going there. And the deer trucks going. Anyways, yeah, I think that we were going to look at that right around the peak, and I took some pictures, but just didn't do it justice. I like that idea, people walk down there. And I think that, I don't know what's up with the gate, I understand that there's like hours for the park seasonally, but I think if, you know, if there's a smaller lot, that tiny little lot that I said that holds the 4 cars, if that was developed a little bit, and not make it something huge, but something where, you know, a handful of people could go park, and you can walk from there easily enough.
Or even the one at the little pond.
Yeah. And walk that underground. I mean, we were down there yesterday, there was a guy, I parked on the side of the road, there was another guy parked on the side of the road, and he was down there in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I was parked inside of it. So we parking for residents, you know, live out, but they can park in lot, or anyone that wants to.
So, that brings me to another topic, but I don't wanna change
the subject.
No, go ahead.
Maybe we can finish.
No, I didn't do an
I
agenda
don't want to cut
tonight.
you off.
No.
I can hold
I'm
that
just-
thought. and
I'm
let-
typing
I'll
and
go after
keeping
you.
track of stuff to report to the select board. Like I'm writing about talking to them about junk in the woods. I'm gonna pull your thing and bring it, print that out for them so they can see. And maybe they need to walk out there or just let them know it's there. Like I said, I'm just keeping track of the stuff because I haven't done a report in a couple months to them.
But it is important, once we get the trails established, that we have dedicated year-round parking.
Yeah,
So
well,
people can use the trails.
They're plowing the parking lots for us in the winter partially, so they should be unlocked. Otherwise.
I was gonna see if everybody was okay if I applied for the trails grant. The main recreational trails grant, because that also covers trailhead and parking. So I think that might be applicable to use over in that little 4-car lot and establish the trailhead there. You can go to the Boy Scout side, or you can go sit and
I think that's fantastic.
and then,
I mean, plan big if you can get more parking than 4 cars.
yeah,
And like some people that do bike racks, of course, I don't know where they ride their bike on Williams Road, like God bless you, Rock, or if you do, but have at it.
Yeah, they could be good mountain biking trails.
Yeah, I mean, you could have a mountain bike back there. Yeah, I think that's fantastic.
yeah,
That seems like an easy grant too.
I think so, but I'm frustrated because I've tried to contact them 3 times now and I haven't heard back.
Oh, is that guy that from the email that you
Yeah,
sent?
it's Matt, he didn't say anything, so then I emailed Doug Henyon, nothing, then I called Doug Henyon and left him a message and stuff.
And you just fill it out.
It looks a little bit involved, like the Land and Water Conservation Fund, not quite as involved, but yeah. I think I emailed you the link. You and
Yeah.
Missy, to see if you and Missy would help me, but.
Well, I mean, Joe said he would help. Would he help you with
Yeah.
it? Him and Karen did a great job on the
Yeah.
ARPA
Yeah.
stuff. Maybe they'd be willing to help,
Oh, I'm sure, I'm
you
sure.
know? No, I think that's a great idea. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing if we can do that next year and there's enough, places in town that do that kind of work with the trails that, if we have the money to do it, we can get it in there.
I really don't think it's gonna move much.
Yeah. With someone that does what they do for a living, they're gonna be in and out in no time, and it'd be economical,
I think just getting the parking established. Getting a decent little parking spot
Mhm.
there for trail access, the kiosk and maps up in place, and then slowly do improvements to the trail as we go. Just get people using it, and then I think it'll get packed down.
So the trails on the water side to the Boy Scout side?
So the trail, if you're in that little dirt lot,
Mm-hmm.
and you're looking at the Boy Scout side. And so like Kitty Corner, you can see the Boy Scouts have already started building their
Yep.
kiosk.
I saw that.
And that's where I'm thinking that you would go in, and then you can get to the water from there.
Awesome.
And if that's just unlocked year round.
So nice. I don't understand that. I mean, I thought the gates were supposed to be unlocked,
I thought so too.
so I'm not sure.
And we unlock them and someone goes and locks them again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I get them locking the ones down like in the pines and stuff like that, but like the ones where you can actually park is kind of like, hey. I'm gonna- Okay. No, I think that's a great idea. I mean, if I can help in any way, let me know.
Or help to, did you email me? I didn't see it. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't, because I didn't see anything.
And what's the guy's name again?
Doug Beck, is like that.
There's also, because the trail thing passed at the last voting thing, and they said there's gonna be there's gonna be more grants. They'll be due the end, June 2025 is when the grants will be due. They don't have more information about them yet, but it's about taking care of trails, getting the ones that aren't up and
That's-
going.
Yeah, that's the one Peter said. He said that with the new one that bought that grant that just got passed, he said we should
Yes.
immediately jump on that
But
to get in there because it's gonna go
doesn't sound
fast.
like there's anything ready on it yet.
No, yeah, but if we can be first and kind of ready to go, like, I think if you had, I mean, you already have the battle done of having the trails marked that you want to have done, and where you want to have parking, so you already have that stuff, those maps ready to go. It's a matter of just doing all of the nitty-gritty little thingies they make you do. Which again, if there's anything that they need for data, I can pull that from the comp plan stuff that we're seeing as it comes in, from the study they did of the town. We have all those demographics that are in there. I figured out how to put it out a little bit.
Yeah, it says we'll be in touch soon with further details as soon as they know.
No, I think that's great, because then come spring, that could be the, giddy up and go.
Yeah. early
Um,
January.
How did the Boy Scouts do with their trail?
We've been working every week since September,
Oh, wow.
and they're halfway done, but the hardest part is done, I believe, of clearing.
Nice,
Yeah,
that's great.
so
What's-
he
what's
still
going
has
on?
work to do, but they've been like pretty religiously, it was every Wednesday until we lost light, and then we did the past 2 Sundays.
Yeah.
So he's cranking along, and he has until April to finish it, so,
Oh, he does? Oh, nice,
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, it's really getting cool, because we're getting somewhere. If you wanna start at the Boy Scout gate and get into where we left off, it's a hike. It's like, crap, we've done so much now. Now I got a lot of, now you gotta hike all the way in there just to continue off, because we're at like the furthest point. Now it comes back,
Uh-huh.
that's gonna be a little easier to clear than what they've
Nice.
already done, I think.
It's probably better to have the easier part at the end.
So maybe we can unlock that gate and drive up to the cabin.
Permanently, you mean?
Just for the work and
Yes,
stuff.
oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
You have more observations?
Other than just like seeing the volleyball net still out, the swim floats are still out, and what's left of the lake.
Oh,
Is the
yeah?
volleyball net something we just take?
That's what I was wondering.
Why don't
said
you
it's
and I
theirs,
go over and
but-
we'll look, and then maybe we do something.
I just didn't know what to do with it if it's theirs.
Right, I think just to play devil's advocate, like, I think, yes, if you guys want to do it, that's great, but I think you need to let the town manager know that you're doing it, because if it's their responsibility,
it
it
is.
needs to be aware.
That's
The
what I'm thinking about
communication,
picnic
if we can
tables.
fix that, like, at least on our end, be better about communication. Hey, this is what is happening here. This is what, we did it, but this is what we're happening. Like, they need
That's why I'm
to
making
be
a
aware.
list.
No,
Yeah.
I know, but I
Agreed.
just, obviously it hasn't worked up until now. So it's really like, yes, you guys are gung ho and will do whatever, but it's not your job.
Correct. It's because the way it is supposed to go is you're supposed to have a final walk through them, and they are supposed to be the ones taking down the nets. The nets do belong to the town, is my understanding. But the Y is supposed to be in charge of taking them down and putting them in,
Right.
stored
Oh.
away. That's part of their job of
Oh, I
maintaining the
wish I knew.
park.
Yeah.
They get
Okay.
paid to do that. Same with the picnic benches, they're supposed to take care of all those and
Right.
walk them all out,
Mhm.
because that's part of the deal with the
Yeah.
picnic.
When does
And
the
with,
walkthrough
if not
supposed
for
to be?
nothing, like, you can say, this wasn't done, we did it. So,
That's,
Yeah.
they need reports.
yeah.
When is the
Yeah,
walkthrough
it needs
supposed
to
to
be
be?
brought up during the discussion.
Everything was,
Con-
everything was supposed to be done end of October. That's what their contract states.
Yeah.
They had till the end of October to secure everything.
Maybe the town manager to email the Y to make sure.
She
see if
has
they can
been.
Get them to change those picnic tables, just because I don't have chains.
Yep.
They have them.
Yep. All right, so we have volleyball nets are still up, and tables are not chained, and probably could be stacked a little bit better. Are they all stacked up on the other end? No?
I didn't go down to the amphitheater side.
Okay, yeah, neither did I.
Other than picnic tables.
Um, before the amphitheater, there's, you know where they have those 2x4s nailed to the tree? There's 2 big benches right there. So I don't know if they were taken care of or picked up or what. And there was the ones right as you're leaving, there's the ones, the 2 tucked in over there.
Yeah.
I didn't check those out. I only went to the beach area into the woods, the chapel, and didn't go the other way, so it's probably something we should do.
On your inventory list, is
Yep.
that the jetty?
Denny?
Yeah. I mean, I think that counts as your, part of your inventory and potential.
Yeah, the chapel, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you explored over there while the water is down, but it looks as though it was a wall with stairs, like
Yeah.
you can see pieces of the stairs.
Yeah, that's what Mike said. It almost looks like it was like, yeah, the way it's like slabby. It's really interesting.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, was it solid at one point on the end there when you get beyond the trees? Was it like a platform type? No, you don't know?
You could do
There's
Father's Day
stuff
fishing
broken
off the jetty.
Huh?
You could do Father's Day or Mother's Day fishing off the jetty. With the kids. With little people. So you want, so update would be Holly's going to apply for a trail grant?
Maine Recreational Trails Program, RTP, Maine RTP.
And that be for the trailhead parking and upkeep of trails? And would it cover like the kiosks?
When's it due?
March, I think.
All right. That's awesome.
I was reading somewhere that $30 million trail bond that just passed. Yeah, it has potential for, there's a lot of towns already lining up to get
I'm
one.
wondering if that's why it hasn't
About
come
it,
back.
doesn't start till
There's
January
also
2025.
Yeah.
Can't find that, but I can start it.
Oh, no, I think that's great. I think, the biggest thing, the thing that, and this is what Peter has said to me, the fact that we have not had a grant or have not had anything awarded to us puts us in a better position for anything we apply for to be considered, because we do need that kind of help. We're over that kind of low. In that sense. So, what was the other thing? I did have some notes in my head. Anybody else? Wasn't thinking of what it was.
Do you know, the last time, not the last meeting, but the one before that, there was a list of questions that were gonna reach out to Acorn about, one of which being reclaiming sand.
Yes.
And we never heard if they answered
So
that.
I did respond. I'm so sorry if I didn't. Yes, so. Let me see if I have any. Because they're still waiting to meet with us. That was part of the package. Let me find it. So that's something we could plan to have a meet with us if we want to go over anything with them. So it took me a second to find that one. The long and short of it was, we can reclaim the sand if that's the way we want to go, and there is a DEP process to do that. You can bring in sand, but it's a larger DEP process, and you have to create, I'm not gonna use the correct word, so no one shoot me on this, like, the barrier, the berms, is it berms? whatever, to keep, you know, the sand on that side, so up near the water, there would be like, if she was talking like a little, almost like shelf, where, and then you can bring sand up to that. So that, and you would plant like shrubbery there to keep things from going into the water, so it'd be very specific, they have the stairs going in water. And it's-
Long term, we should replace all that crappy ECM mix with sand as it used to be.
Yes, and the fact that it was sand before, we can, so that would also be something that for the DEP permit, we can prove that it was sand there. So having sand, you know, that's part of the thing too, it's like, it wasn't like all grass, it was sand. I was actually looking at some of the older maps today, and it was nothing but sand, it was pretty interesting, there was almost no trees there. After the fire at 45, it was like that. But that whole area was sand.
I think that's what they refer to in the report as the perched beach, right? You can put sand in there. It's a perched beach.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah, that's
almost like a
correct.
retaining wall type of thing to hold it in.
Yeah. So we can do that, but that requires a longer DEP process. So if that's something, I mean, what's everyone's feeling? I mean, we all know we want sand to be brought back. We're still dealing with, can we get the materials needed to get rid of the wet, soggy area? Because we're still, I don't know if you had any luck figuring out
Yes.
what happened there, because it was Army Corps, not Army Corps, like there was so much.
Did not find any evidence of tile drains being put in there
Interesting.
where that had ever been propped, he call it, or farmed.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
So in their report, they said if it had been, if tile drains had been installed
Uh-huh.
because it had been farmed at one point, then we were limited as to what we could do to change that use.
Right.
But I talked to Patrick from the Scarborough office, he talked to the farmers,
Okay.
whatever, and researched it, and he said they found no evidence of that.
Okay, so no evidence.
No evidence of tile drains.
So change of use is a potential, right? Is that what that means? But not.
It
not like
was
change of use
never, we're not changing anything, it was never farmed, so. This is as far back as they could find, it looks like nothing has changed. It
Yeah.
wasn't like it was somebody's farm.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna give it to myself to find the acorn email for it, you guys.
Checked with the farm, he went to the farm service agency and looked at some aerial photography from 62, and the front area looks pretty much the same as it does now, so best I can tell, it hadn't been cropped. Beyond that, I'm not really sure that the spot could have ever been tiled.
Which makes sense. Like, I still don't understand like the work that was done.
Yeah, he said
Do
he
you-
recommends getting in touch with the DEP for guidance on determining if it qualifies as a wetland, and that's exactly what Acorn said. So I emailed Acorn and I said, what do we need to do to get that done, and when can you do it? And she said, it's a wetland delineation by like a soil scientist, and you would do it during the growing season, so not now.
Right, so we can't do it until the spring.
So it's supposed to be a spring project.
But that should be a priority probably in the spring is to get a wetland delineation done.
So do we have a name of someone we can go to?
Missy said they will be certified by spring.
Oh, Missy?
Mhm.
Yay.
She would get me names of others.
I think that should be pretty high on the
So
priority
maybe we
list
should-
because a lot of grants are gonna require that.
I think oh yeah, we went into that, I think, already, so I think that is very important. So maybe, this is so early to do anything, so if we're putting it on your calendar for like maybe February, finding someone that we can start talking to.
Schedule.
Do I just want to put February, does that sound?
Yeah, we might have to get on someone's schedule.
Yeah, because everyone books out so far, do you think that's enough time? All right, and then
Yeah.
that's to have them do a, whatever,
Wetland delineation, is what you said.
They. Yes,
of the beach area.
No, of the
yes, to find out if that boggy area is considered a wetland.
yes.
Yeah, because they thought potentially part of it was, but the rest of it wasn't. So I remember talking about when we were walking around.
It would be good to get that whole boundary delineated, so
So
we
we
know
have it,
what our
you know.
limits are,
Yeah.
what we can do.
Yeah. Perfect, all right.
Is that including the beach, like where the wood chips are?
I don't think
She didn't
No.
think that was wetland, that's like beach area, you know, like,
Yeah.
when you walk
The
over
field,
here,
yeah.
the little
Like-
white, past the playground
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Just that little section way over there tucked by the woods.
Yeah.
She thinks is wetland, the rest of it she didn't think was.
Okay. So I also think that we need to speak with somebody that maybe knows more about the process of reclaiming sand, because if there is potential to do that, I think that that also should be pretty high on the priority list, because the public is going to want to see tangible results. And that's the first tangible result that people would enjoy is a beach.
Right.
And right now, there's a lot of sand right there.
I know, walking out there, I wish legally I could get my tractor down there,
Yeah.
the grater blade, and just pull it all back, 'cause it's so much sand.
My first thought is I don't like that idea, but I would like to listen to someone
That
Who
knows,
knows?
yeah.
Mhm.
to maybe convince me otherwise. I
Would
just
you like to
don't
have
know
a talk with Acorn about that?
If you know about that.
I think the
Okay.
woman that worked at DEP would. Alexis?
Yeah.
One of them was Aubrey, I forget the name,
I
sorry.
think also having sand in the water is a huge plus.
Right, that's the concern, is
So-
would it be removing the sand from the water, or
Yes.
what would that look like?
And also it's so shallow for kids right now, it's such a perfect thing for kids. And if you start taking it, then they're gonna be,
Correct.
and that's my concern too, is the kids not being able to go out as far as they can right now, which parents love.
Unless there's another area that we could take it from. Like, what if we took it from further down?
Yeah, or they say, hey,
Or they say, look at all this over here.
you could take this much off the whole surface.
Yeah.
You have plenty to put on your beach and everything's gonna be fine.
Right.
And that would make me feel good.
I'm not convinced that they would have that answer, but I'm sure we could hopefully find who.
Should we
would.
look at like cost efficient, like, yeah, because I mean, if you, like, what does it take to do the permitting process to rescind? And yeah, because I mean, I think overall there probably should be that, what's the thing again? I'm gonna say it wrong again.
Perched.
There you go. I think that we still should have a perched beach just because storms are gonna wash everything back in
I was
anyways.
gonna say,
Mhm.
reclaim it.
You gotta still put the perched beach in
Yes.
anyways, right?
Keep going anyways.
But we're also looking at blocking off some of the access points, so there's gonna be specific swim areas
Correct.
that we could, even like what the Y does, rope off these areas. and
Yes.
Those would be the designated swimming areas, and sand that's outside those areas. would be
We can
moved.
take from there. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, it doesn't have to all be,
It does get, it's very sandy even all the way down
right.
in the amphitheater.
I'm sure that we could pull from over there and not affect,
So what time of year is the best time to do that?
probably right now, because it's lower than low.
So, but then the other problem of where you're gonna put it is you're gonna wash.
Can we get rid of
Come on,
that stuff there right now? I was digging around with my foot and it just comes right up. Can we just
I
take that out
think-
ourselves?
I think if we were gonna immediately put sand on it, I don't see why we can't.
But if not, no, you don't think we can kick it out?
Let me make a phone call for him. I'm gonna call DEP and see if they'll let me. And I'll just ask. them
I would
what we're
ask the
doing.
DEP, and then we just need to get permission from the town and say, hey, we are going to, there's no way that all of us families couldn't just take out all the wood chips. It's really
Well,
not,
yeah, it's a very small area to do that, and I mean, how much, I mean, but that's a lot of time for you to do the sand thing.
I mean, we would get other help. I'm sure that it's other people that,
Or equipment.
yeah, we would need.
It's a shame. I'm sure you saw the same thing down there, that I would like to know what the real purpose of lowering the lake is for.
I don't know,
Because,
it's weird.
you know, even if it was just lowered a little bit and you had 10 feet or whatever of sand there at the bottom of the stairs, then like that
There's
would be
your beach
problem
right
solved.
there.
But then, does that screw everybody else with docks on the pond? I don't know how.
Yeah, I think the association came up with the approved lake levels for
Okay, yeah.
summer and winter.
Yeah, because they own the dam.
They
It's
lower it to cut down on erosion and damage from the winter storms and try to improve the water quality and
Mm.
allow for the
Yeah.
spring snow melts to fill it back.
Oh,
without
Okay.
flooding the dam, which is
It's
happening.
just strange that, like, we have so many ponds in town, I think that's the only one that's
Yeah.
handled that way. No, I don't see that, that I know of. Wait, there's a dam on Broadway, right?
I think there's dam
I
that
don't
most
know
of
if
the
they
great
control
ponds around here,
that.
but this one has the most.
There's one pond is pretty steady.
Mm. Mhm. Yeah. That's
don't start.
I know. All right, let me make some phone calls tomorrow.
I just think that if we really want a real tangible result, that's the first step. And it should not be, to me, it doesn't seem that hard. DEP, obviously, we need to be involved, but
No, I think that's perfect. I think to show something that we are doing something, I think you're right, bringing the Sandy Beach back. The boggy area is gonna be in Bonnet here until, and so I know some of the donations that were planned for some of that are kind of not guaranteed anymore. So I have to check in with that to see where we're at with that. I think,
do you know what exact materials we do have as donations? Because that was never really clear.
yeah, no, he did lay it out. It was all the gravel and stuff to come in to help raise get rid of the wet area. It was,
Yeah, I don't.
he talked about it, that's why, it was at a meeting. The fabric, or maybe it was just me, it was the fabric.
So at the meeting, he said what he would try to get.
Yeah, he was able to get fabric. Remember how they talked about you could get that fabric that goes down the trails?
Yeah.
He was able to get that donated. I don't know if that's still a thing or not, because then he was getting he asked me to find out what size that gravel I talked about, and it's not gravel. Yeah, the stone for
Stone base for the
the,
walkways.
yeah, and he was gonna get someone to donate that, but we needed a place to put it, but now that's where I think that's gone.
Why did we need a place to put it?
To store it, because we can't lay it down.
I know, but can't we just put it in a pile somewhere at Bunganut and cover it for the winter?
No, well, what happened was because of the delay, because we had the forester, then we had the other harvesting company. Because of the delay, we lost that harvesting company. So the harvesting that was gonna be done to have the space to put the stuff there, it's not happening.
There's a lot of space. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
just thought he said it could go in the parking lot. so
Yeah,
people
that's
use
what I
it, or,
thought.
like, across
That
the
wasn't my
street.
understanding, like I said, he's not here, so I'm not really sure, but my understanding was wherever they were gonna put the forcing stuff is where those donations were gonna go. I don't know why, I don't know the plans, that's not my bailiwick, I'm not into the construction stuff. They have their plans for stuff, when Dave's here, we can ask him. So I can find out what donations Dave still is able to garner, right now I know it's the bridge they're working on.
Yeah, I think it's important that we are aware, like, what we have and what we don't, so that we can make informed decisions as a committee.
Because I thought he put it in the email to all of us, why he thought it.
He sent an email and it said he had secured material, but he didn't say what.
I know he was talking about gravel, the fabric, the stone, because he had to find out the size of the stone. That was in the email to Acorn.
And then I was under the impression we were gonna be like doing the bridge, we were gonna figure it out
The town was
Like-
doing the bridge, weren't they?
voluntarily. And I was surprised to hear on the meeting last night about like the cost of it after the fact. And I don't understand whether it was approved or not, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, the town was always supposed to do the bridge because they've been talking about that for 3 years. That wasn't supposed, because they took it out of capital improvements and not out of the Bunganut funds. That was something they were always, that should have been done at this, at the point where like the stanchions are gone. They're just not attached to anything. And it's just like, it's a major safety issue. So they're, on that, he was able to get the materials donated, for the building of it. Then, like I said, I didn't know anything about I didn't know anything about the rest of it, I didn't know last night. So, but that's, the bridge was a town thing anyways. So that's not anything that we would have say anyways.
just-
Why did we
Safety
bother
issue.
getting a quote then?
Yeah.
We, well,
I'm confused.
because he was just down there. He was down there doing the quote for the
No, I
thing,
mean,
so,
oh, for the aluminum one?
yeah. That's why we had just gotten the quote for that, because the guy was down there doing it for the ramps go to the water. It was just like as a courtesy, hey, this guy's gonna do you wanna know what it would cost for an aluminum one? It was never supposed to be anything we were doing. It
Yeah,
was just, he was down there.
yeah. I also would have I felt like we could have maybe gotten it demoed or demoed it ourselves. Like, I don't know that now the town is to pay or,
Right, but I think that's also what they're also gonna try to do in the process is and I did say, if they can save part of it, because some of it could be used as good walking areas. The top is so that it's the underneath that goes into the water and the rails that are bad.
yeah,
So there's portions of it that can be used, and it's nice to think that we can do it all, but we're all in weather, storms, life, we're all busy, things happen. It'd be lovely to do that, but I think we don't meet often enough, and that's one thing I wanted to talk about tonight, is to literally pick the day that we meet per week, and at least once a month we're meeting, and then maybe workshops or work down there as a committee, hands-on,
hmm
on a Saturday or Sunday. And I think that would be a good way to go with the committee, because then we're hands-on down there, we're seeing things, we have a better grasp on it, better than sitting here. We have one night, one evening during the month that we pick to meet together and brainstorm or come up with the next day and do everything else by email in between. But have that quote unquote, I guess, workshop where we're there hands-on to look at a section that we want to work on, or maybe we're the ones cleaning up the crap in the woods, whatever it takes.
yeah. I just think
know?
we need to be offered the option to do that. These things just happen without our knowledge. and
Well,
I
yeah,
just
because
think,
we're just a committee. We're an ad hoc committee that actually disbands in April. That's why they have to say, we don't. We're here to give recommendations and our thoughts as we look at stuff.
right, but
but-
you and Dave gave recommendations to the select board without us being aware of any of it. So I just would have loved the opportunity to
Like, what
even be
ones?
told that you were gonna do that. So what if we could have demoed the bridge and saved them $3,000?
We had nothing to do with that. We didn't have a say in that, ever. We never had a say in the bridge. They've been talking about the bridge for 3 years. We had no say. We got the aluminum quote for them just because the guy was down there. As far as wanting the wood, yeah, we wanted wood. We literally had no say on how that was gonna go. That was fully town. That had nothing to do with committee.
I mean, it's perceived in the meeting that it did, but that's just, yes, I understand it's,
I think it was pitched to them that way, that
Yes.
we said we wanted wood.
yes.
Right,
And
but like the finances were all the town.
I was all for it because I thought it, was gonna be much cheaper.
It is cheaper. It was 14,000 for the footprint that's there now, which I think is 3 feet wide for someone to walk across, is what the aluminum bridge is for. What is happening now, and I learned this last night too, is it's going to be, because the footprint of the bridge is bigger than that 3, because you have the sides that come out. When you go across it, you have the beams that come out the side. So that's actually 4 feet, so it's actually being structured so like a golf cart can go over it. So if they had to get someone down there to help someone out, that's what it's for. So it's being made wider, and hopefully it also will help cheat it away a little from where it's on the edges, so there's not that erosion that's occurring. But that's something that, again, the town was doing with or without us. We only ever had the guy do the aluminum ramp just one bridge, because he was down there. It wasn't like they asked us to do it. We just said, we have a guy giving votes. It's a hard line between a committee that is doing things and in the end the town has a say, the town manager and the select board. And that's where it is difficult, where we have to respect the decisions they make. The bridge was never in our pond to deal with. It was just, they did ask us what we thought about it, and we did talk about, we did think wood would look nicer down there. We had some brainstorming. But, as far as the demoing, I don't know how any of this takes place, that's all, it is a lot, just the equipment can take it out. It's big, because then you're talking disturbing the below, because it's a span. I mean, how do you get in there and not have it fall in while you're taking it apart, or you're stepping into the river and it's the muck and the mess. It's not that easy. So they're doing it with equipment to get it out in the best, way possible, as far as my understanding anyways. I'm like, again, it's the town. That was never anything we were doing. we're doing the rest of the other stuff that we're talking about. But in the end, no matter what we recommend or what we talk about, it's up to the select board. And that is a hard pill to swallow sometimes, and I get that. So come to the meetings and tell them, not just me, you know, it's like anyone else can present to them. It doesn't have to be me, I love it. You know, it's doing the best we can. And right now we've missed a lot of meetings and stuff like that, and that's where we have to, like I said, pick a night. I would love the workshop on the weekend where we're doing something, maybe helping the path down the turnaround path they're coming down, make it, some of the things are leaning in, get those clipped up and, you know, talk about what it's gonna look like when it's done. Kevin had written down somewhere how much fill would be needed to go in there. There was a diagram of that in the drive that he had put in there for that. So, you know, those are things to look forward to as well. So I guess it comes into, what do you want me to go to the board with is like the main thing we want to accomplish. I know trails is number one right now with what you're going for the grant. But for things that you guys would really like to see, like the beach area, the sand area, I don't know what area taken care of, like this coming spring, is that what I'm hearing?
And those were the priorities of the survey that we had. I just keep going back to that. People said they wanted easier way down, they wanted better beach with shade and trails.
Shade was one. That's a hard one because trees are gonna take forever.
Well, like, I mean,
Not necessarily, because if we can get that area addressed, then the pavilion, it looked amazing, your Photoshop, Kevin. So I really think,
I can get a little more detailed than that.
yeah, I think I really think sand or beach area is number one. And then once we move from there, I think the next should be a pavilion right there, right smack in the middle.
Okay, so that's something, I think, did I put that in the inventory of wish list fun stuff?
Yeah,
I
take
did.
a zero, so.
I did put it in there.
Because
think
again,
that
like all the little
covers-
things, people aren't going to see with their first eye, but like you're going to get more donations, more people using the park if they see these things right in front of their face.
That's where my idea of what the marketing
Exactly.
plan comes in.
Yeah.
With,
And then you can rent it too.
with fancy pictures and
Yep.
stuff and the cornerstone of a fundraising
Yes.
thing.
Which that all is super simple to do once we're ready for that stuff. Absolutely.
I think that would be a great thing to try to tackle under the grant, the Land and Water Conservation Fund.
Yeah.
And that you've got your shade, you know,
Mm.
that covers shade.
Meeting
picnic,
place,
the meeting area. You know, it checked a lot of boxes.
rental opportunity.
Because what I would like to see where Kevin's talking about, the big promotion, is have you wear a GoPro and go down the trails.
Oh, I can do that.
That would be so fun. I think that would be super cool. Just to show people,
Oh, for like a promo.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
you know, what I mean?
I mean, I think we
I
can
think
put
that would be
together.
But even like to show what needs to be worked on, you know what I'm saying? To do that, like this section needs work and why, from what you're seeing. So that way it gives the select board some people are visual. So when you're trying to explain to them what you're trying to do, they don't always understand and they're not gonna go out there and look.
Should we schedule a walk or something?
Yeah. I don't know if that was like, it's those. I mean, I know it's harder to get everyone together. I think it's always the getting everyone together, but I think that like even for you, for like a promotional, going with the GoPro and you know, I can speed it up and play it and send it to you, so that would just be really cool. That'd be something really pretty to show off, even what the Boy Scouts did. And, you know, the trails right here in our little town. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah. Alright, so.
Maybe we can make our own Facebook page called Bunganut Park,
I've been asked about that.
and controlled by one of us, not the town. That
Well, the
Or
town would have to
multiple
have
of
some
us.
control, I mean, because we can do a Facebook page, but they'd have to have.
it's fine, just a place for us to share, like, this is what we're working on right now. This is what we're working on next. Like, do you want to donate? Click here. And then eventually that leads into, do you want to rent for your party? Click here. And then that's where it's controlled by.
Right, because one thing I had mentioned, and I hate to add anything to it, is this coming year with rentals of the Pines. I just really think that it should come back to the town.
Yep.
You guys, how do you feel about that?
What do you mean?
Like, right now,
Manage it?
right now, the rentals are still being controlled by the Y,
It should be
but I
controlled.
think it should be controlled by the Bunganut community.
And didn't we write in the survey that we would be willing to help take on some of the
Yeah, So
scheduling?
everyone still feels okay with that, if I put that on there?
I 100% think that it should either be
Okay.
this committee or somebody, like, I don't want to put it on the town manager.
Right.
I know we
and that's
discussed
just it.
this,
That's
but-
why we can't, but if we would be willing to help answer an email.
Yes. Like any
For
rentals or
reservations and things like
reservations,
that.
yeah, we should
Okay.
even have I don't know exactly the process, but I think there's ways on like a Google Calendar, you can have a Bunganut and people can select pay, they have to put a
Where we're-
Well, the
deposit.
town now has a way to pay online.
Yeah,
What Jeanette has it all set up, and she's gonna have it set up so that each, so it's all gonna track to the committee it's supposed to go to.
Yep.
The, not the committee, but the area
yes.
it's supposed to go to, so she would have the non-lapsing Bunganut
Mhm.
account could receive that money. I don't know if it would go there or if it would go into general fund, but I can ask about that too.
The only thing we need to be cautious with this about is when it comes to how it looks. And we can't be offering these things to be rented out for a certain amount of costs if they're not up to par.
Well,
Number
I 100%
one.
agree, because to send someone out there
Correct.
to rent it when you have a picnic table that could probably give you tetanus.
Yes. Or like a grill that's broken, or
And
like give
rusty.
options of renting a grill or whatever. And these are things to talk about, but if we want to, these are things that I think we could do by the spring, by the summer next year,
Yep.
pretty simply. The other thing we need to be cautious of, it's just shooting off the hip here, is we need to make sure the porta parties are good. Like it takes more work than we need to make sure that, guess what, the gates are unlocked, because if it's a Sunday or whatever and the gate isn't unlocked, these sports teams that are renting these places, they're having trouble with the locks. They're having trouble with the porta potties. How can we expect these teams, these organizations to pay to use it if
Right.
it's not even up to par?
Right. I don't think anyone knows who keeps locking them, that's the problem. I don't,
And
I
the
mean-
codes for like, you know, but they're like rusty, so you have
Yeah.
to, you have to know that you really have to play with it.
Yeah,
You really
So
have to.
rusty locks,
The
is that
first
what we're
time
talking
won't
about?
work.
yeah, which is fine, if they make that clear, but the communication needs to be there. So whoever ends up starting to control those things, like just say to these people renting, say to the people using the field, like, hey, just a heads up, this is the code, this is what it takes. Like there's just zero communication.
Right, well, you would have like, to me, you'd make a sheet.
Yep.
Like a hand-up sheet when someone rents it.
Yep.
And then if you want to change it once a year, change the codes,
Yeah.
knock yourself out. But that would be my process, is organizing where there's a pamphlet you can hand out where it has emergency contact.
Yes.
In case of this issue, contact that. Now, when you were talking about like the pavilion and stuff, and like Kevin had done that, are you talking the one that we were talking to Matt Henderson about for like going for a grant or something like that down the road? Because when we go to do that, the one thing I am gonna, there's a local person in town, I'm gonna see if I can get them, they do septic. Because I think one of the cool things too is if to be able to do bathrooms on both sides, you can get grants for that. So a bathroom up top and a bathroom on the field side where they have some changing areas for the athletes and bathrooms and porta potties can go away.
Yeah.
So right now it's finding someone that can, you would not believe how hard it is to find someone who designs public bathrooms. I've contacted 4 people and they all have said, like, designers, nope, we don't do that. Okay, so I have one in Bedford and Win here for right now. That they said they do them and they have not heard from them. So I'm waiting for someone that can draw up public. If you do it, I can get them a dime a dozen out of the state. They'll come up from Massachusetts, because it's more money they're gonna do in Massachusetts, coming from Vermont.
How do you get them done in a state park, any state park, I wonder? You know, like the
I
ones you
called
see?
and that's what they haven't
Yeah.
brought in, or
Oh, they
they're,
do.
yeah, so I've
Okay.
tried everything. I've done a lot of research on bathrooms. So when I have asked the local plumber if he has anything that, because I'm also trying to think of ways of building it. You can't prevent all windows when I get that, but that are more hold it better to vandalism. Unfortunately, because I mean, the one problem with the park is it's in the middle of nowhere. But I do think that the more people come to it, to use it, you're gonna see that vandalism lessen because it's gonna be busy, there's always gonna be someone there that you're gonna run into. So it would give less opportunity for someone to do something nefarious to the stuff that's there. Anyway,
I think that the peak of the vandalism was during heavy COVID too. That probably had something to do with it. Hopefully that,
Mhm.
is it enough?
but I haven't really seen anything since.
But yes, I think that either this committee or somebody controlling like the rentals and things like that would be a huge plus because we can market it better. We weren't really, nobody was really marketing it the best that it could be. And I think that that's something that we could totally take
There
over.
is, the marketing is a huge thing. Like again, even depending how the chapel looks in the spring, getting out there and having it look kind of nice and getting chips out there. Like I said, you could promote it as a wedding chapel.
Yeah, I mean, you could take good photos of these things like
Yeah.
it with your iPhone. Like you don't need anything fancy. It's just about
So there's somebody coming in to clean up all of that stuff.
Yep.
And then do we make a plan, like what, I just would want to know, I want to know what's the next step to making
yeah.
that look better? After
Right.
that, after all the dead crap
This
is
is
done.
Photoshop. That's the chapel. I just used AI and Canva.
Mm-hmm.
How simple is that?
Yeah, so easy.
So then what? So the dead stuff is gone, now what's the next step? Like,
So-
what can we do? Do we go in and do we pressure wash the chapel? Do we
I
wood chip the
had Mike
path?
measure.
What do we do?
I had Mike look at the chapel because the biggest thing is what condition that thing is in. And like, is there anything that's wrong with it? We know there's a little masonry that's gone wrong.
Yeah.
Dave just had to have the guy that will in the spring for free fix it.
Yeah.
I had Mike, that's what I brought Mike down there for. I said, can you do measurements for me and look at the boards and the beams and tell me what you think? And so I have measurements. It's just the face plates.
Yeah.
Structurally, he said everything is in great shape.
Mm.
It needs some, you can see with the squirrels have had some fun chewing. I have battery powered sanders. We also have a tiny generator I can bring with me, and I have plug-in sanders. It's too cold to stain, but you could still, get it sanded down and be prepared. But he measured the face plates for me, the ones that are rotted.
Yeah.
So he measured, so I have measurements for that. And then he did measure off. It's not metal roofing, it's aluminum. So, which is why it's kind of thinner than like your metal, your
It is
steel.
aluminum?
It's
Or it's
aluminum.
not?
It's aluminum, but it's not steel, which is what like a house would. Is
Yeah,
the
so
right?
one rest.
So he gave me the measurements on it. So I'm gonna call and see how much it costs to get new. He gave me exactly what we need.
You were,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because it's all,
so some holes in it.
there's quite a few. And it's old. So he told me what to ask for, like make sure the screws, the ridge capping, I needed 2 pieces for that.
Yep.
So he gave me the full measurements for everything. So I just have to call and get a quote. Now that'd be easy enough to get someone, a business to say, would you like to name a chapel? And
Yeah.
this is what it costs.
Mhm.
I did find out too from the CEO. Because I was like, the one thing that this really struck me as now it is just a wedding thing for the chapel. We talked about putting a dock or a deck out there by the chapel for people to be able to access the water. As long as it's not permanent, the CEO approves it. So as long as it can be brought up,
Yeah, blow it up in winter.
pull it out in the winter, Becca does it.
Do you have to pull it out in the winter if it's drained, if it's
Well,
not
that,
water?
I did ask her
know.
that and she laughed, she said unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Well, you could rig it so it's on a pulley system and you just
Yeah.
pull it up. But just like, so you would be able to almost market this as a private picnic area where you have your shade in your picnic area. And we could put some kind of little grill out there that's safe on some rock or something. And then they have a place to sun themselves on a nice long dock that goes out to the water. And that's just a thought, so beyond weddings, it could be rented out per day. You can reserve this for the entire day for $50. And you have your own little private area that's yours to go out and
Yeah.
and hang out.
Mhm.
You know, and if you think about, and even during the fall, to have a picnic out there, reserve it for the day and have your little, whatever you want to do. It's just a simple private thing right here in town,
Mhm.
you know? And I think having the dock out there makes a big difference because now you have access to the water. You can lay out in the
Yeah.
sun or you can come into the shade. So that was something that kind of stuck in my head when I was out there looking at it, just kind of playing with some pictures really quick because, I mean, the reality of what it looks like is. Um, it's interesting what AI can do, it scares me a little bit. I mean, that's what it looks like right now. That's just all. And she's just sad. But you know, maybe we could use like a whitewash staining on it to brighten it up a little bit and a charcoal, whatever. And that's just it. I would need to know what you guys think for colors, because I don't know. I don't think the red paint is just kind of, you know,
What is the carpet?
yeah, oh, that, I don't know, that carpet's gonna,
Oh.
in the fields. So, yeah, so what do you guys want to do? Do you want to concentrate on, well, you know what else really bugged me? The signs. The signs that say no to smoking, no alcohol, or paper. Staples and trees. I think we can do better than that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, they're like, I'm like, that's so tacky.
If it's-
They're in a plastic sheet and they're stapled to the tree. I'm like, I mean, like, no. Maybe that's a project we do, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's easy enough to do
Yeah.
before the summer.
So that's
yeah.
something to consider, how many of those we would need. So these are the type of things how many would we need to make it look nice?
Yeah.
Those little things make things look nice.
I think the chapel area is something that could be accomplished by the
Okay.
summer as well.
All right, so do you guys want to, so is that the area we want to choose to go down and kind of work on and clean up, get the picnic bench moved out, see what's going on for dead stuff and haul it to the side after they're done doing the cleanup down there?
Yeah, I think we should go down, take a trip down there.
Okay.
That's what it
Mhm.
looks like after.
Yeah,
So I will.
and maybe a dock, like get a quote on a dock for that area.
Does anyone want to tackle dock stuff? I'm so bad with measurements.
We already measured for that area.
Did we?
Is that something Karen had?
You did like a schematic of what it would look like.
Yeah, I just drew a rectangle out into the water,
Right.
but now that the water's down, I can actually go out and figure out how far.
Well,
Yeah.
how will you attach it? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Would you have like steps that go down to a dock and then goes out?
Well, typically for a temporary dock, it's got legs.
Yeah.
And then it can't be for temporary. It can't be attached to the
Oh.
land.
Right, so it should have wheels and you can just roll it up
Yes.
into pieces and
Yes.
lift it like a shin pond.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay. Yeah, so you want to get a quote on a dock? I had the, because then we have time to get put on the dock.
Kevin, do you want to get the measurement and then we can maybe tag team it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can go down there
Okay,
tomorrow
To give
and
us
figure out.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Liz and Kevin are gonna do dock. I said, I'm probably gonna be busy with DEP. Liz, Kevin, committee wants to,
So I think we're limited to a 4-foot dock, 4 foot in width, but
I don't know.
maybe,
Becca would know that.
yeah, if you can get like a 6 foot in, put a couple chairs out there.
Yeah. and that's
Some
just-
docks, ours at Shin Pond has a bench built in to the dock.
Oh,
That's
really?
right.
And
Oh,
it,
that's
you
a
can
nice
wheel it
idea.
up still. It's still just part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Good
go with
idea.
that.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, so we'd have options for both and then see
Mhm.
what the cost difference is and.
It really does not need to be huge either. Like, I don't think we need to spend. It could be a short dock. Like, it doesn't need to be.
Well, I mean, if people want to hang out there and like get their tan on out there, I mean, that's the whole, if you like they're booking that spot, you want to give them as much as they could have. You know, and again, we don't know if we're gonna get a business to donate so I think having the largest dock we could have in the medium in there, have both, what the difference is in pricing, might not be that big. So I think the largest dock we have to continue. And then we'll know. So committee wants to work on the chapel area after cleanup.
I did notice it's not sandy over there. Not the
Yes.
greatest.
Yeah, I think that the stone jetty has stop the
Yeah.
sand from that area. It's
Yeah.
all stone.
Still a place to dip your toes in.
Yeah,
If
Yeah.
your brain jump off.
hang around.
Yeah.
It's just something.
Okay, so which would be um, okay, so which would it be like cleaning the stone, sanding beams, pressure washing?
Cleaning out weeds.
There's a lot of good dust in there. We can get a ladder. There's a lot. There's one way up top.
Just coming up with a plan of, like, do we mulch? Do we plant grass? Is there grass? What's under the leaves? All that. Do we want to make a pathway?
Well, like when I was walking out there with my husband, like there's that huge walk there too, and I said, yeah, it's just kind of cool to have all of a sudden a little path of mulch that leads up to a little bench, but to sit by the rock. Just little things along the trail to attract people to, just want to sit and have a conversation, or they've been walking along and sit and look at the lake from there.
Was part of the cleanup, is it just dead and down? Is it,
That's-
or is it like, are they removing some of that, like honeysuckle crap?
Yeah, the honeysuckle, the invasive stuff is going. Yeah, the invasive stuff is going, and from what I understand, it's just the dead stuff and the down stuff that's going. That's my understanding, don't hold me to it. That's, again, something the town is doing. Again, it's only just the Pines area, and it's not the other side, which is just as in rough shape as the Pines area. Alright,
That
so-
is actually us. That was approved to come out of our funds,
Mhm.
not the town's.
Yeah, because it was part of our project, for the bridge is out of the town's funds.
Yeah.
So clean up leaves, the first nest. Yeah. Okay, anything else? And that's like, so like things we'll have to figure out down the road, like cost sustain. I said, I'm gonna do get estimates for the roof and the beams to replace those things. And see what we're gonna do with that. All right, so and then I'm gonna work on calling the DEP and talk about sand. I'll have to ask Dave about Birch Beach, unless anyone else gets it. I don't get it. Like, what will we put there? Or is it just we're gonna burn it up? Because what you could do is that crappy, that ECM, if you brought it up to the edge, that would create Birch Beach, because it's all right there and the plant bushes in front of it. Would that do it?
I don't know, I can email Alexis and see if
Yeah,
she's got examples, so show me what you
Yeah.
mean by
yeah,
birch
I need to
beach.
Google it, because,
I did, and it was just like, you see in people's backyards, a lakefront home where it's retaining wall, it's up.
yeah, and that's why I'm wondering, would that ECM be, if we kind of made a wall with it, and then put bushes in front of it so that it becomes erosion control as well? Does that work? Because then that wouldn't cost us anything to rake it up to there.
It should be doable.
Does that sound like that
Yeah,
would be?
the DEP would want some kind of erosion control plan in place
Yes.
for building the beach.
So that would save us so much of having to haul that out if we literally just raked it up and created our own.
Yeah, so I think
Coupled
that's
with landscaping.
a
Yes.
couple of
And then
landscaping.
plant, there is
bushes.
landscaping bushes there, isn't there?
Yeah,
There is some there, so we just have to go behind it
Yeah.
and tuck it in real good. And then put more mulch down there to make it, that's even more erosion control.
Yeah.
So, but I'm pretty sure if we take that and rake it up there and create that spot, that now is your Birch Beach.
Do we have a photo of what the materials there now? Well, they were there. So we could ask them, would this qualify?
Yeah, I mean, I
Ask
think
Acorn.
she did, I mean, she does know that was it, if we just tell her that it's ECO that's there, which is what it is, which is what they were all talking about. That's just extremely rough.
Yeah, it's approved for that situation.
Yeah, it is, that's why they left it there.
Okay, so then that should be able to work.
Right, so.
That would save us
And
hauling it
that's,
out.
so financially, it's labor for us to rake it all off if we want to go down there.
It's not
Take us
that
probably
bad.
not even a day.
No.
Just tuck it up nice and pack it down good.
Yeah.
And we would just have to ask the town to buy some mulch from the Bunganut, get approved.
Yeah.
To get some bags of mulch, and we could lay that on the bushes that are there, because there's already bushes there. And also, Kevin, do you have pictures of the beachfront, like where the,
Yes.
so if we could show where we could put more bushes to block off spots and make it more erosion controlled? So we could figure out how many bushes we need. You are just amazing, you kill me. Look at that.
Yeah.
Awesome,
That's perfect.
awesome. All right, let me take a picture. Or do you have another copy? Can I have this one?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right, I guess the question is like, do you know how many bushes we have down there now, or is that kind of a crapshoot? But I could use this to present to the DEP.
Yeah.
What
No,
we wanna do.
when I'm down there tomorrow, I'll take inventory.
Like how many we have, so I know how many
Yeah.
more we would need to purchase
How
or
do you
get
even,
donated.
like, how do you even determine that? Like the whole shoreline is just scraggly bushes. It's not like
Some are
one
bigger.
here,
Yeah.
one here.
No, it's basically looking for the worst areas, if some of the places we want to block off,
Mhm.
those would be the candidates for where to plant, like blueberry bushes and stuff.
Yeah,
Mhm.
nice blueberry bushes would be lovely. Yeah, and just count how many we would need. And that way we know, like, we could either get, there's that company here in Lyman, maybe they would donate some blueberry bushes.
I'm sure we could get that donated.
Yeah,
I
so,
mean, I have a million. I'll just dig one up and plant it.
yeah, well, that's just it. If anyone wants that has an extra one in their yard, donate, down to plant it. You know, we'll need some soil, and then again, some bags of mulch. So these are things to plan on, but that's something we could do in the spring
Mhm.
easily. So let me write that.
And if we
down.
try to do the raking out or the raking up part like as early as possible,
Well, yeah, before snow hits.
even sooner than later, then we have all this time to go to the select board and or whoever and try to figure out the reclaiming of the sand. But then we're sort of forced our hand into having to do it, which is kind of what we need, right? Like
Right.
That push to- now we have no choice.
It's also the role of people.
Exactly.
Number one thing on the survey.
Yeah.
is Fix the beach.
Yep.
All right, so, I mean, what's today? I know we have Thanksgiving coming up, which is like a cluster for everyone. But as crazy it is, everyone wants to meet on Sunday to go out there to rake some crap, I'll meet you there. I have a funeral to go to on Saturday. But I could do the 24th if anyone wants to do it. Or the 1st.
Either works.
First would be our ice cream.
I mean, you guys can do the 23rd, I just can't do the 23rd.
I can't remember.
Saturdays are out.
I mean, we go meet there at 9 o'clock on the 24th for 2 hours, see how far we get.
Yeah, as long as are we okay to do that? Are we okay to go
Yeah.
do that stuff?
I don't see why we want to be, they just chipped it there. We're not like, we're moving in, we're just putting it, is the,
Moving it.
Yeah.
Also, we could say that.
well,
Weather.
it's, well, the thing is though, is the beach is not gonna be used in the normal course that it is, so I think just putting it there where we know we're putting something where we took it from in the spring. You know what I mean?
Regardless, something else has to go there, whether it's sand or not.
Or
So,
more chips.
yes.
But those
Yeah.
chips, but not those chips. Those were
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
like
So,
pure-
yeah. So, I think.
Because they're actually they're more a danger right now than we have there.
Oh, it's awful.
So I think if we go down there for 2 hours on Sunday morning, anyone that can make it, 2 hours for our lakes.
Yeah.
See what we can get done,
Yeah.
create the little perch
Gonna
area.
stabilize the shore.
Mhm.
And that way we now can say we have a perch, and we need to. And maybe we can get permission to reclaim it quickly. Because how hard is it? Well, if it freezes, we're not doing anything. I'll see how fast I can move with DP. I don't know. It could be a permit, I don't know. I don't know I know it's harder to bring in sand than it is to reclaim. I do know that from
Yes.
from talking to people.
But maybe the DEP will have some recommendations or ideas.
Well, like, what do they really need to know from us? I think if, as long as they know we have
Yes.
Perch Beach
Yep.
and we have the area, I don't know why that couldn't happen real quick.
Also, if we're there Sunday morning, we could walk down the beach and see where else we could take sand from.
Yep, I think it's a great idea. All right, so does that sound like a plan to everybody? Okay, and we have all those chips across the street, so we weren't even really need to buy, we could use those for around the bushes. They're not pretty, but they're great.
We don't need to get pretty because it's just gonna get ruined anyway with weather, honestly.
Yeah, use chips across the
Use what we have.
and they are smaller. Because that's what the Y uses for their area, is the chips over there, so we just would need some of that, well, lots of little arrows.
Can we bring a truck? Yeah, we can load it back, the bed of the
Can
truck.
come into the handicap area.
Yeah.
And, but that'll probably happen this spring with the, I mean, well, we could even mulch it down, just scoot it with the planting with the spring, so if we want to get it done.
Yeah, depends.
Then it would pack down too, which would be nice.
Let's see how far we get.
See how far we get for sure.
And maybe when we're there looking at it and starting, we're like, okay, this isn't the best choice. Let's
Yeah.
switch gears.
All right, well, I think that was it. I feel like we're going in the good direction, peeps. Thank you for bearing with me. Yes, please come to the meetings and present. I do my best to give them notes of what we go over, and do it. There's gonna be stuff the town does, whether we have a say or not, because they're the town, and they run it right. Now it's hard because they're stuck with dealing with why in the park, and it is not managed.
Correct.
So it's a total,
It might be willing to, I mean, it might be worth us trying to ask them for like a separate meeting with the board and just figure out what the steps forward with the Y are in a sense so that like certain things we won't do if the Y is
Okay.
still involved in what capacity. Because I think it's really important, again, the communication. Like we shouldn't replace a million picnic tables if the Y is still in it. They're going to get ruined.
I
Things
100%
like that.
agree. I think that we do need to know where that line is. I don't know if they even signed a contract with a Y.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything. I couldn't tell you. So I don't know what, I don't know what
Or
they're,
if there is going to be communications with them, perhaps we're part of that, you know, some kind of thing like that.
yeah. I mean, I know that they won't respond to us no matter what we do, so that's that.
We just bring a different point of view, I would say, like, or
Yep.
maybe have a little bit more insight than some of the.
Right. So like some of the, so I have this whole little thing, and I'll send it to you guys. This is a while ago I did this, and this is just brainstorm stuff of, when did I send this to you guys? I put in, stuff I had found, like, I thought this was kind of cool. This is that Portland Headlight. And these are the donors.
Yeah, I have my name on one of those from when I was a kid at a playground.
Right. So something like that, like, you know, when we talked about the sitting area up top, to keep people from coming down the slope. Something like that, not that huge circle, but like a half circle, 1.5. You know, just things. I put together kind of a, I think I put,
I think that's a good way.
It's
Good
easy,
way
an easy start.
Showcase that.
and what we're
I
doing,
think it would
put
be a
old
good
pictures
way
on
to,
there.
you know, say, post a picture of the chapel and say, hey, we're looking to replace the roof of the chapel.
So I found something
Anyone has any
interesting on eBay.
contacts?
That's actually a Bunganut, right? I found on eBay. Yeah, or like a stamp. It was, I was like, what? So, it was on eBay. I was like, that's strange. But yeah, I found some really interesting things. Did some digging, but I also found like some links, and this is where I'll send you guys this whole document, where I have some nicer benches and picnic benches that were higher quality for a park.
Mm-hmm.
And you can
That's
even choose
the
colors.
Fastest way to get donors.
And that's just it.
It's the
And then we
bench.
can put a plaque and
Yeah.
you sponsored the, and, but they were really nice looking and like benches.
Mhm.
So I picked out a bunch of these that are rated for like parks and things like that, that also were very nice looking. I just put these in document, you'll have to copy and paste the links into the browser, sorry guys. But, like I said, I just did this on the go a while ago, just kind of preparing for when we would have people to do things. All right, so I will do up a report again for the board. I'll send it out to you guys before I send it to Lindsay to see if there's anything you want to add or remove. I think that, we can ask for, a delineation of what the Y's responsibilities are and what, like, what we should make sure we don't overstep a bound on.
Or
with their
even just make it
contracts.
clear to them, like, I don't know if she even knows that they haven't done the
She
picnic
does.
tables, so it's like,
She emails. Some to the select board to do something.
yeah.
But that's where, again, guys, you should come in and say something to the board. We're seeing this firsthand, we're concerned, we don't know why it's not being fixed. I am telling them when we see
Yeah.
things, emails are going out. That's all I can tell you, that's all I know. Because I don't work in town and I'm doing a report and I know this, I'm being told emails are going out concerning these things. Why they're not being done, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But maybe the select board just needs to be, ask them,
Maybe
They're-
they need to hear it from someone
they-
else. Mhm.
not me.
Mhm.
I had my fill last night, thanks. So maybe it just needs to be someone else saying something.
Or more than one person, that's the other thing, yeah.
Yeah, because I report every time, that's great, I don't mind doing it, but I think seeing you and hearing you guys, that you have the same concerns I do, it's not just me saying, hey, it's actually us as a committee saying this is an issue.
Mhm.
Especially when you're down with Red Dead, you see all those things, So, yeah, no, if you guys can make it to the meeting, I'll do up the minutes again well, we don't really do minutes, it's 7 minutes. I'll do up what I'm gonna send to the select board to include in their packet. So I'll plan on seeing you guys on Sunday for that weeks.
Mhm.
And even if we want to be crazy and pull up the picnic bench. I actually have high power blowers. Except for the statements.
Oh, I was thinking of the roof, but if that's gonna be replaced, then
No, but hopefully when they're replaced. Like the cuck it in there, you probably pull it right out of there. High power. Leaf blower. But, all right, cool. All right, I'll do it up and do that. I'll find the acorn thing where she talked about the sand, where I asked about that. Is there anything else I needed for you guys? I will do better at making sure I CC you guys or forward you what I get responses on. My apologies, it's just been a bit nubby lately. And then do you want, so that's the last thing is, let me pull up my calendar. So what are the worst nights for you people? In general. Mondays is usually select board's twice a month on a Monday. Usually if they do workshops, it is on a Monday when they don't have a select board meeting. Wednesdays, what is that anymore?
Planning board's first and third Wednesday.
First and third Wednesday. So do we
Parks
want,
and Rec is the second.
is a second, first and third? So we could. Oh my God! And then I have comprehensive plan on Thursdays.
What did
And
we say about Tuesdays?
I have some school board meetings on Tuesdays, but let me look to see what I have on here. Can I tell you where they land? It looks like the second or third Tuesday of every month, I'm okay.
Second Tuesday's like.
So do we want to say the third Tuesday of every month is on committee?
So next month it's the 17th.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather do sooner than that? Like, what about December 3rd? Did you say that's something?
We could have a couple meetings in December, there's not a problem with that, if you wanna try to pull off.
I mean, I know December gets crazy, so
It
that's
does,
kind of
that's
hard.
where it's
So,
kinda hard.
I mean, what
We
if
could-
we did the middle of December like that, and then January we start twice a month or something?
Yeah, or let's say we could do a workshop on it, I mean, I know everyone hates the weekend stuff, but if we needed to meet on a Friday or a Saturday morning over coffee, you know, just that meet here really quick for an hour in the morning on a Saturday and go over stuff. But at least we have one solid day during the week where we're gonna meet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm just
Mhm.
trying to figure it.
Yes.
Okay,
We
so,
have to be streaming, can we,
no,
Could
we
we,
don't,
like,
like, if we do a
zoom
workshop on the
in?
weekend, we don't have
or,
to.
yeah, okay, that's.
Yeah, if we're doing a workshop on the weekend, I'm not gonna assume,
Okay.
it could be anywhere. It could be there, it could be library, it could be.
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah,
I don't, the workshops are just kind of like a, hey, regroup, let's talk, where we got, who have you heard from? You know, because, and then we can have the bigger, this is what we've accomplished, this is our next thing, this is where this grant is at. It can happen at our meetings. Does that
Mhm.
make sense to everybody?
Yes.
It can be an extremely informal, workshops on, again, just coffee in the morning, really quick and off we go. Or pizza and margaritas at night was a bad one. So today is the 19th, and then we have Thanksgiving's next week. Oh, I know. Can you believe it? Um, and we also, the third was something else. The first Tuesday of every month is,
The third's open for me.
do we want to do the first Tuesday of every month?
I thought you could do the first one.
No, on a couple of them are, let me see. Oh,
February
no, I have
2nd,
transportation on the February 28th.
But
Yeah,
we
the
can
first
go,
one
I
have
mean,
transportation.
December
It has
is
to be the
different. We
second.
could just go off of,
Second Tuesday.
The second Tuesday I have to stick with, yeah.
it was the third.
No, well, one of them's the third. Let me check the other one. It's so hard. 'cause
I
there's a couple
can't do
of
the second.
them. Second Tuesday? Oh, yeah.
So let's just start with December.
So we'll have
What
to
date
start
are we
with
talking
17th.
about? December 17th, okay.
Yeah, December 17th, so we're gonna do the third Tuesday. All right, and then. All right, so I have it on there, so the 17th, and we're gonna meet the third Tuesday of every month. I'm gonna put that in the news because I won't remember by the time I get home. Okay. All right. All right, we're meeting the 24th, 9 o'clock was okay with everybody?
Mhm.
To work on, the ranking. All right. I think that's it. Does anything else we want to go over or talk about or anything like that? So anything you want reported back to the select board, let me know. I'll do it the minutes from this, and it might not be tonight, but I'll do it tomorrow. I'll keep you guys posted on what I hear from DEP and Sam, and see if I can get any information. Do we want Acorn to meet us at our next meeting on the 17th? Because I can ask them to Zoom in with us. Yes?
Yeah.
And then we can ask lots of questions. All right, I'll put that out to them as well. Okay, anything else to go over or do? Nope. All right, I will get that done tomorrow sometime. I'll make some phone calls. Today's the. Alright. Let's send the other document to you. Oh, that's. All right. And then, oh, and I will try to get an update on when the flagging's gonna happen. Down at the park. He's still marking 100 feet back before we start.
For cleanup?
Yeah.
For the cleanup
Oh,
people.
yeah, and then I'll find out information.
Wait, tomorrow.
No, because he's marking what they can and can't take, or like, what's dead, what's not, he's marking the invasive stuff, he's doing all that stuff. You know? And I'll ask him what we still have for donations and what we lost. And I'll ask all those things, because I don't know before I said it. All right, that's it. Okey-dokers. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We're gonna run. Kids are burning the house down.
Oh, God.
Well, I have a microwave, so cook. That's it.
Kaylee can do that.
I know.